Welcome back, guys. So today let's talk about Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City. And before I talk about the actual movie, I want to quickly give my backstory on Resident Evil and how I haven't seen that much Resident Evil. I have seen the first three movies, the Mila Jovovich ones. I know there's like six or seven. And I've only seen like the first three, I think. And I'm gonna rewatch those and review those on the channel sometime. I do want to rewatch them now that I watched this movie. And the video games that these are based on, I have only played Resident Evil 4, so I am not the person to look for in terms of accuracy of the video game compared to the movie. So that is definitely not what I'm here for. I'm just here because I really love movies, and a friend asked me to go see this one, and I was like, "Yeah, this looks okay. I'll definitely go check this out." And the basic plot of this, from what I gathered, is that it tells the story of how the Umbrella Corp uh, created and came to be, and it's showing these characters: Claire, Chris, Jill, um, Wesker, Leon, going through this and trying to survive through this zombie apocalypse that starts being created in Raccoon City. So the premise I thought was pretty solid, like in terms of just as a movie. I thought it was pretty solid. Um, the actors in this I actually like. With the girl who plays Claire, her name is Kaya Scildario. Scuderio. I mispronounced her last name probably, but she was in Crawl, which was great, and she was in Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Um, I liked her in this movie. I thought she was solid. I thought she worked. And then you've got Robbie Amell as Chris. Robbie Amell is, of course, in the Flash TV series, I believe, or Arrow. I know Stephen Amell is in Arrow, of course, but I don't know if his brother Robbie Amell is in the Flash or the other one. But I know he's in one of those DC shows. Um, Jill Valentine, who I don't know who this Hannah John person is. I don't know if I've seen her in anything else, but she was fine in this. And then Wesker, played by Tom Hopper, and I had to look that name up because this actor I have not seen anything in. I know he is in the Umbrella Academy, but I've never seen that, so I don't know anything about this actor. But he was fine in it. Leon is played by an actor that I surprisingly just recently this year watched an old show he was in, and the actor's name is Avan Jogia, and I feel like I just completely butchered that name, but he was the character Beck in Victorious, which is a Nickelodeon kids show about a pop star, or about a singer in a performing arts school who gets into hijinks. And it's funny to see this guy in here because I can only think of that show because he looks the same except for with a beard stubble. So it just felt like it didn't have much of a difference to it, but he was fine in the movie. But it was just weird seeing that actor again in this. And also the chief is played by Donald Logue. Again, I'm butchering all these names. These guys all have weird names, which I feel like I'm just butchering and saying wrong. But he was the guy who did Grounded for Life, the show, which I remember was funny whenever I was a kid. He does great as the chief, who's the hard-edged chief who tells everybody to fuck off and tells everybody to be like just that they're stupid and he just really is funny in how demeaning he is. And this movie also is directed by, I dropped my notes, Johannes Roberts, who directed The Strangers Prey at Night and the 247 Meters Down movies, which I dug all three of those a lot. So I was thinking it was a shoo-in for this movie because I really do dig his horror movies that I've seen that he's done. And I really liked, like I said, The Strangers Prey at Night. And I just rewatched that this year. I really love that movie. And 47 Meters Down, the first one I thought was great. The second one as well I enjoyed, and I thought it was really tense and scary. But the sad thing is I didn't find this scary. And this is weird because you got the other Resident Evil movies with Mila Jovovich and like Ali Larter and Michelle Rodriguez, where like those movies are more action horror. And this one tries to be more horror, but it still feels like it's downgraded horror. It's hard to explain. Like, it doesn't feel very, like, I don't know. It's hard. It feels like it's still like an action horror movie, but it's not as much actiony. But it's not like a pure horror movie. It's more of an action movie. But like I said, it's hard to describe because it's not like silly over the top like the other Resident Evils in that way. It's more trying to be played straight, even though it does have a lot of silly stuff in it. But it's very weird to see that. So tonally, it's just so weird because I got, honestly, I just got kind of bored watching this movie, like in the theater. Like, I thought the actors involved were good. The story was okay, but it is definitely, just for me, another forgettable like video game movie. Like, it just doesn't really. These characters are nothing more than their archetypes. The performances are fine, but they're not anybody that I super cared for. There's nothing that really stood out for these characters to make me go, oh wow, I care for them. If I played all the video games with all these characters, I feel like I would have loved this movie, but I have not. So it's weird because I feel like I feel like I can't really realistically give this movie its due because it's based on something that I've not really delved into that much. Like I said, I've only seen the first 3 movies. I've played the 4th one on the Wii, whenever that was a thing, and that was really fun. But it's not something that I know so much about the source material. If I did and loved the source material, I would have probably loved this movie more. But as is, the movie's just kind of boring. It's got some fun moments. It's got some okay thrilling moments. But it's definitely a downgrade for me in terms of Johannes Roberts, like other movies, like The Strangers Pray at Night or the 247 Meters Down movies. And I know he's done a lot of other stuff, but those are the only ones I've seen of his. But it really just felt like it was just kind of a forgettable movie. Like, it wasn't anything super special. Pretty run-of-the-mill. Nothing special for me. I didn't hate it, but I definitely didn't love it. It was just okay. And I noticed that's what a lot of people are saying about this movie. Like, it's just mediocre. And if you love it, that's awesome. And if you hate it, that's awesome. But I think that I'm just in the middle. I'm just like, this is mediocre. But like I said, I kind of feel like I'm not really going to give it its due because I don't know the source material that well. So don't listen to me. If you're a fan of this franchise, I feel like some people might love it. Some people still might hate it. Everybody has different opinions, but that's how I felt. I just thought it was totally okay for what it was. Nothing super special, nothing super great, but nothing terrible either. It's just mediocre. But that's it for today. Pretty quick review. Like I said, I didn't expect to see this in the theater, and like I said, a friend just asked me, and I was like, cool, I get to have an excuse to go see it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'm blabbering. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Take care.